AITAH for choosing my boyfriend over two friends who I've known for 12 years. There has been an ongoing argument for about 3 weeks now with my two former friends 23FS, and it all came crashing down this weekend. I 23F have a boyfriend 25M and we're in a very healthy relationship. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. We've been together for a little over a year now with only one problem. Back in February we temporarily broke up over an issue about him not wanting me to go out to bars clubs. One of the reasons he gave was that my friends act why when they're out, and he was scared I was going to do the same if I went out with them. I don't disagree about the way my friends act, but I told him it was not okay to say that about my friends, and it wasn't okay to tell me where I can and can't go. While we were broken up I vented to my friends about the issue and they were rightfully offended by what he said. We ended up getting back together after having a talk about trust and have had no issues since. Around 3 weeks ago the argument with my two friends started after I questioned them about why they invited my boyfriend and I to go to a concert with them and then retracted their invitation after hearing that we had gotten our tickets. They said that they haven't liked him since what he said back in February. I explained that he doesn't have a negative opinion about them as a whole, he just doesn't like how they act when they're out at bars clubs. I said that if they still don't want to be around him, that's okay. They insisted that I should have broken up with him for good back in February and that his comment makes him a misogynist. He's not, and that because I didn't, I have questionable morals, and that they need space because they don't know if they want to be close friends anymore because of this difference in opinion. I told them that I was hurt by this, but I accepted it. 2 days after that argument, one of my friends invited me to her graduation party. I was hesitant to accept the invitation because the issue still wasn't resolved, but I told her I would go. The party happened over this past weekend. I showed up early before anyone got there because my friends wanted to talk about the issue. They expressed that they felt uncared about because of my unwillingness to break up with my boyfriend over the comment that was made about them. I apologized for making them feel uncared for. I explained that while I sympathized with them, I was not willing to sacrifice my relationship with someone I can honestly see myself building a future with over one issue, and that it's not fair to ask me to sacrifice my happiness for them. The issue never reached a conclusion because other people started showing up to the party and we left it alone for the night. The next day I asked if they wanted to go to my mom's retirement party and then maybe continue the conversation over margaritas afterwards since it was Cinco de Mayo. They said that they came to a realization that my mind wasn't changing after I had left the party and that it was best to drop the topic for the day and let it blow over. I said I was fine with that, and I also understood if they didn't want to be close friends anymore after this whole thing. I respect their wishes. I followed it up by asking if they still wanted to get margaritas and we can just not talk about it and have fun without any sort of closeness. They got really upset about this and said that I was being insensitive to how hurt they were. I reassured them that I was hurting too, but in the end it was them who decided on this little ultimatum. I apologized for any hurt I might have caused, but reiterated that it's unfair for them to ask me to end a relationship that they're not even in and that I wasn't going to. That conversation ended in them saying they didn't want to be friends anymore at all because I was unwilling to do this. I decided that I was okay with this due to the fact that I found their behavior controlling and I won't allow myself to be controlled by anyone, not even 12-year friendships. There is also other factors, including the way the friendships have always been unequal give and take. I am always expected to do more for them than they do for me without complaint because that's what a good friend does, and if they could they would, also because my boyfriend has shown me more love and support in 1 year than they ever have in 12. AITAH for the way I handled this and my final decision. Also, after it was decided that we were no longer friends, I told one of the friends that I would drop off the beer pong table that she had been storing in my car at her mom's house. She said to throw it away. She tends to say things she doesn't mean out of anger, and I figured she would want to keep such an important college memory. The table is decorated by her and all of her friends, excluding me. When I got there to drop it off, her and the other friends happened to be there moving all of her belongings back into her mom's, which I did not expect. I got the table out of my trunk and asked where she wanted me to put it. She said to lay it in the grass, so I did and went back to my car. As I'm about to drive away, the other friend starts cussing at me, so I pulled up to the curb, rolled my window down and told her to say it to my face. As we're going back and forth, graduation friend's mom comes running out of the house and saying I'm disrespectful for throwing trash in her yard. I told her that it's her daughter's table, and she told me to lay it there. She continues on about how I'm making the wrong choice and I'm going to end up with no friends over it, and that she's going to call my mom. My mom ends up getting called. She starts cussing at my mom and both friends are cussing at my mom in the background. My mom eventually calms her mom down, and when they hang up, my mom asks if I can call the friend's mom to apologize for going back and forth with the other friend in front of her house. I had no intention of going over there to start drama, but I call and apologize anyways. After this is all done, later that night I'm getting texts from random numbers harassing me about the situation.